We've had so many moments where we've just stood there and gone, how? We cannot do this on the Hauraki Plains, on our soil, and have a paddock that looks like that. It can't happen, like it doesn't happen. So I'm Teagan Gray, I'm the farm manager for Neil and Glenda Gray. They are also my parents. I'm the 5th generation to manage the farm, and we're based here on the Hauraki Plain, farming 500 cows. I always get, well, it doesn't milk the cows. I'm like, well, no, it doesn't milk your cows. Put robotics in if you want someone to milk your cows. I'm like, well, I want to see my cows at some point. Technology is only as good as the person using it. So if you're using the data that it's providing you, and in turn you're putting accurate information in there, it spits out accurate data. That afternoon that we had collared and the cows were back in the paddock, and obviously gates were shut in the training process, and we just had the buffer on the gateway. Even by the afternoon after collaring and we'd gone back to the paddock, like, you could start seeing that change, and like, I just thought it was so exciting, even though it was tiny, not that much, but I was just like, oh my gosh, there's grass around the gateway that hasn't been eaten. Product's a beast. It's just, from when we signed up, well, almost 3 years ago, to what the product is now that we're using, it's just amazing.
It's always been a motivating force for us that we leave our farm and land in a better position than when we got it, but also that we leave our business in a very strong position so that any future generations can operate, I guess, profitably and sustainably. And those are the two key motivations for us in terms of a legacy.
Pretty extreme for a dairy farm actually. I had the whole month of July off, so pretty unheard of. I'll show you off camera, but I've got some video footage of me sitting in a ger in Mongolia showing the Mongolians Halter and the cows. They were interested. Tap on the dot. Obviously, as the farm manager, I play a pretty important role in the team. The transition between me being here and being away is quite seamless because it's all in Halter. Everyone can see it, what's happening, what the round length is. I can set a whole lot of stuff before I go, so they know what the targets are, and they just have to draw the brakes and make sure the cows get to the right paddock. They just had to keep the wheels on, and they kept the wheels on, so that's all I was hoping for.
So the answer to that was yes, it was perfect.
My 2 main milking mobs get 4 shifts a day, and it's just that constant monitoring of the pasture. Every time you drive past, I'm looking and I'm like, yep, they've done a good job, or I'm not happy with what they've done, so I'm going to either not shift them and leave them there longer, or I'll make their next break smaller so that they can back graze and eat it. They're split-second decisions as you're driving along, and they take 30 seconds to make the change, and you just keep going to your next job. So now we're going to do an in-paddock shift with them and shift them onto the dust. The time is just gone, so someone's going to figure out very soon. I think it's being able to do the job and then just move on to the next one, and they'll just be looking after themselves. As a single woman farm manager, there's been so many challenges, just gaining the respect, having to work twice as hard, sort of prove that you know it and that you're capable. I don't think farming's not about strength, and I think it's people changing that mentality, and products like Halter show that there's so much more to it. So if I could be a positive role model for someone else to be like, it is possible, I can aim for the top, I don't have to settle for a lesser role. And so I think there's just this real opportunity to drive like a real positive change, and it would be great just to be part of that movement.